Hey everybody, we're going to make my great grandma's homemade banana cake. This is a cake made from scratch. You can see here's all of our ingredients that we're going to go with. 2 cups of sugar, 2/3 cups of margarine, 3 eggs, 3 cups of flour, pinch of salt, 3 tablespoons of vanilla, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 cup of buttermilk, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Bananas, they gotta be really ripe, and I used probably about 4 of them to do our crushed bananas here that I'm going to add in, and 2 teaspoons of banana flavoring. I find Watkins is a pretty good brand for that because it's a good flavor. I went ahead and added all my ingredients. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mix this up and get it going. This is probably going to be like a 2-3 part video here because I'm not computer savvy and not sure how to edit all videos together yet, so bear with us. We're going to go ahead and mix this up. Okay, our batter's just about all ready. Okay, now we're adding our crushed bananas into here. Just want to mix them around, get them good and blend it in. So here we are, we have our mixture, everything in there. Now we're going to put them in a pan that we greased and dusted with flour. This recipe here, it's been my family for many years. My grandma, she would have been 110 right now. I'm 40, and this cake's been made all my life, and my mom was 67, so she died 3 years ago, so it was made all of her life. It's probably like over 100 and some year old cake. And it's the only time we get this made is at Christmas time. So we're going to go ahead and fill our cake pans with the batter. This will turn out to be a 3-layer cake when we're done. It's also a heavy cake. We always get it around at holidays when we make this, and anybody that eats this, you'll gain 10 pounds because it's like a 20-pound cake in one slice. Level this out a little here. You want to preheat your oven also at 350 degrees and bake your cake. This should take probably, let's say, about a half hour for this to cook. You don't have the same amount in every pan, that's fine. don't need to be. It actually helps if you have one smaller than the rest, because this is a tier cake. So. Alright, now we're going to put it in our oven for probably about half an hour, and back to her. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the frosting up a little bit here so that we can be one step ahead of the game. We'll end up putting this in the refrigerator till the cake's ready, where you really don't have to we don't have to refrigerate the icing, but we're doing that just to keep it from melting until the cake's done, just to save time on the video here. So we'll be back. Okay, now we're going to mix up our batter of our peanut butter frosting, where I put a little bit more peanut butter than the 1 cup. Just, I like to go heavy on the icing. And a little bit of our vanilla. Now my mom's recipe calls for 7 to 8 teaspoons of milk for this, and I found making this that you just can't go by that. You're just going to have to add milk as you go. So we're going to pause this and come back here as we start getting some of it going. You see our batter starting to come through, getting a little thick. We add some more sugar. Now we're going to add some more milk to it then. So right there is about what we want for our consistency of our peanut butter. And it's something that can be easy spreadable, and something like that there will work for us. That you can spread on the cake. So we'll pause again and we'll be right back. Just in case anybody wants to see the recipe, here once again is how to make it. And here's a look at our icing. It's pretty much how yours should look. And here we are in the oven. Cake's looking pretty good. Smells good. So check back in a little bit. We'll have her going. Okay, so we're gonna go a step ahead here. I'm gonna take 3 bananas. This is what we use for our topping on our cake. I'm just gonna either slice them in half and just cut little chunks. Or if you prefer, you can just cut them in circles. Either way it'll work. The thinner probably the better. Normally when the family would make this, we would cut slices like this and put in between the layers of the cake. But unless you can eat this cake within like 2 days, that's kind of a bad idea, because it starts getting moldy real quick. So I'll just do a little different slices. This will all go on the top of our cake. And so, if you want, you can go ahead and put slices in between the layers. Since when we make the cake in the layers, we'll put peanut butter icing in between, and normally we put slices of the bananas in between it. But I said because we can't eat this cake just what we have here in our household quick enough. It's bad to put the bananas in between there because of getting moldy real quick. So we'll check back with you here in a few. So since the last time we checked on our cake, it's been about 10 minutes, and this is what we got so far. It's rising pretty good. Like I said, you know, earlier, even with the one not having as much batter in, it doesn't matter. It still make a pretty good cake, and you know, you're going to need a smaller thickness of a cake anyhow for the top or the bottom, whichever you decide to build off of. So we'll be right back.
Okay.
So we're waiting on our cake here to finish. We have a little bit yet to go. Cake's not quite done. Your next step, once you get your cake out and it's cooled down, you're going to have 2 plates ready. One to put the cake onto, and the other one to set the cake on in your pie thing. And so this is also, you know, our tradition that we make every Christmas Eve. We would make this cake that day, and we used to have the whole family would come around Christmas Eve, and since my great grandma was alive, and make this. As I say, we used to make this Christmas Eve, the day of Christmas Eve. One thing with this cake we gotta watch for is like heat. That icing, melt real quick on this. So, and our family, we never made it too much ahead of time due to that. And like I said, you gotta watch. It's not eaten within so many days. It does get moldy real quick. But it's our family tradition that we always made at Christmas time. Okay, we're going to check on our cake here, see if it's done or not. I use a toothpick usually just to check. It's not quite done. If any of the cake would stick to the toothpick, that means it's not fully done yet. So we got a little bit yet to go here. So we'll check back here in a few minutes on my end and a few seconds on your end. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes here on our cake. Yeah, here in the oven. Man, I wish you all could smell this. This smells so good. They got a little bit sticking yet. Man, they need to invent a phone or a video camera that has smell on it, so you all can smell how good this smells. So we'll check back here in a couple minutes for a few seconds for use. Man, it smells so good. Look at that. Man, I wish you all could smell that. It smells so good. So this is our cake now that baked here. Like I said, this one here I'm going to use as my top piece because it's smaller than that. But now all we do is let this cool, and we'll come back, icing her up. So I'm going to pause this, and it'll be a few minutes for me and a few seconds for you. So we'll be right back. What I'm doing now, the cake's not cooled down quite yet. So I'm just taking a knife and going around the edges just to help break it away. Wish you all could smell this. This smells awesome. This is actually one of my favorite desserts that we make at Christmas time. Now that I know how to make this, I make it whenever I'm hungry for it. And now that I know how to make this, I make this all anytime I want, whenever I get hungry for it. It's actually the 2013 Christmas when my mom was getting ill. She couldn't make this. It's one of the things she taught me, and I'm so glad she did this. If it wasn't for her teaching me this, this would have probably been long gone. Nobody else in the family, they make this or even care about it, but at least with me now, we'll have this every holiday or whenever we want. So what I did, it started already with one of them to see how they come out of the pan. As you can see, the one came out pretty good. They're not quite 100% cooled off, so we're going to go ahead and just try it again, see what we got. What I like to do, I like to put the plate over top of the pan. Take the pan, just flip it right over. Voila. There we got two. Now, because I got ice in these yet, I'm going to take another paper plate and just flip over it. Okay. There we got two so far. Now, we got one more. Let's see what we can do with this. And that one there is going to give us the problem. There we go. That one came out. I thought it was going to be in pieces, but it came out pretty good. Okay. We said that's going to be my top piece. We're going to let this cool a little bit more. And we're going to come back and we're going to put some peanut butter icing on this. And we're going to try it. We'll be back in a few seconds. So we're going to take our peanut butter icing here. We're just going to put a thin coating on this layer here. And this, you don't have, if you want, you can go heavy with it. But I always just put a thin layer on. And earlier in the video when we were slicing the bananas for the top of this, I said about, you can put in between the layers. So what you would do there is when you put your icing in here on your one layer, you would go ahead and then put your thin slices of bananas over top of it. Okay, so now we got that. We're going to take our other one and put our next layer on. Then we're just going to do the same thing. Just going to put a layer, thin coating on it. It's all but reminds you of banana bread in a way. I'm going to go ahead and pause this here and get this icing up here and get us to where we're at the top part of it. So we'll be right back in a few minutes.
Okay.
So now we got all three layers we iced in between. And we're going to go ahead and, like I said, we're going to finish this cake off here. We're going to put our icing on top. You can go heavy with this if you want. And we're just going to take and put your icing down along the side. Probably should let the icing cool, warm up a little bit. Had it in the refrigerator, which might usually a little more spreadable on this. I'm not going to get too fancy with this. Pretty much just coat your cake with this icing. We also, in my family, we use another homemade vanilla type of an icing for it. My mom would use same thing as the peanut butter, but it's I think more confectionery sugar or something else on that. But I'm going to go ahead and pause this again. This is going to be the last pause. When we come back, we're going to have this totally iced and we'll put the bananas on. So we'll be right back in a few seconds. So we got our whole cake iced. Iced her all the way around. So now we just take our bananas, just put them on there any way you want. Like I said before, you know, you just put these on in between the layers. You stick them in there, you slice them thin, put them all around the edges, wherever. The only thing is, like I said, you can't eat this cake fast enough. The bananas in between the layers will turn the mold real quick. But like when this cake would be made Christmas Eve, we'd always have a house full that night. And you're lucky if you had any of this left by Christmas, end of Christmas Day, between, you know, the party Christmas Eve and, you know, Christmas dinner. But that's pretty much how we make my great grandma's cake. Like I said, this is a pretty heavy cake. If you're on a diet, you want to stay away from this, because whatever weight you done lost, you will put back on real quick with just one slice. So there we are. Look at that. It's a good scratch homemade cake. Been in my family for years. Man, it's good. This is real good. Try yourself some. Thank you all for watching and bearing with me on what is my first attempt at doing a video here. Sorry for all the pauses and all that. Stop back again. We'll have more videos coming. Have a good day, everyone.